game. You just saw Frassian standing next to number 6, Alex Ross for Penn State, the excellent cover defender. He's the eraser on that back end, the number 1 pull for Penn State. Looks like he'll be drawing the Mac Haley matchup here this afternoon. Hayashi is great at the stripe because he gets a low center of gravity. He's very strong. He's very quick. Baldwin, though, similar in the way he plays.
33 of 59 so far this season, 15 ground balls for Hayashi. So he has got quite the number to him, and really the outside has been also being able to help him. Once when he gets that ball free from the face-off X on the draw, I mean, his team is right there around him to support. So all day long between those two.
Absolutely. The opening face-off is looking to get set here. Both players ready, and Baldwin taking the opening draw, but it looks like he violates. Rolled early into that face-off. New rule change this year with face-offs. If you take there against Zach Hayashi, two very strong physical guys. Matthews, a guy that plays in the OJLL Summer Box Lacrosse League up in Canada. Multiple seasons of over 100 points. He is an unbelievable scorer. He's unbelievable inside, a guy that Jeff Tambroni's really raved about for how good his hands are. All-time in Patriot League points and assists behind who? Pat Spencer, a member of the Golden State Warriors. He was excellent for Loyola back in 2019. Him and Grant Ament, the 2 top players in the country that year. Had an unbelievable referring to his teammates in this game, though. Looking like he wants to shoot early and often. 1 for 2 on the day. He will be a big component for this Penn State team down the stretch once Big Ten play starts. Obviously, next 2 weeks they've got Yale and Cornell, 2 top Ivy League teams. Yale ran into some issues last week against Army. It's actually really early. Back to the stripe we go. Baldwin and Hayashi. Something we'd figured we see a lot of today in terms of those two going up against each other. Maybe not this many times in the first quarter. 2 excellent defensive teams. Daly gets the ball off the fake against Princeton, one of the guys that needed to get going in this game, and he's doing so here in the first quarter. Once again, it's Baldwin and Hayashi at the stripe. Another face-off won by Hayashi. Now it's Marsh. Watch out. He'll fire from anywhere. A.J. Marsh thundering downfield. Bounce shot. Turned away by Frassian. Last week against Towson, A.J. again here today. A little bit of a communication error. The second time that Conway's worked top side. Swept across the top of the box for a free shot. This time Frassian unable to turn it aside. Great placement there from Conway to bury it off stick high in that top corner. Hayashi and Baldwin going to war again here. Procedure call on Penn State. Navy ball. 1:22 to play. Fresh 80 on the clock. Navy can hold for the final shot. Mullins, can't tell if that's Nate. It is 38. Chase Mullins out there to take on Hayashi after Baldwin went 1 of 6 in the first quarter. Violation there on Hayashi. He can't take the next face off. It'll be Colin Shadowens, but right there, not enough left in the tank to defend Conway as he buries his second in a row here.
I was supposed to say, that's saying something for John King, too. High motor, physical play. He's been able to switch off into a couple of different guys, but a lot of times he's running out of gas.
3 cups of coffee before every game. That's his pregame superstition. Mullins and Shadowens, an old school draw here at the Penn State logo at center field. DeBartolomeo can't pick up the first-time ground ball. It's mayhem. Josh Nagy able to pick it up and hand off to Daly. Navy will look to clear from their own half of the field. Porter now picks up his first goal. He's averaging 4.6 a game right now on the season. He's a guy, once he sees one go in, he'll just let it fly from anywhere. Coach Tambroni talks about it a ton. He's a guy with uber amount of confidence. Baldwin held there on the draw. Penn State, another offensive opportunity here in the game of lacrosse. It can be make it, take it, depending on how hot elects Penn State. Coach Tambroni said he's fit in with the team from day one. An excellent presence. Amon's 5th of the season. Last year he had 20 goals, no assists. This year he's up to 5 goals. He has an assist on the year though, so he's already topping the numbers from a year ago. Face-off won by Baldwin. Good help from Aldridge there on the draw. Penn State has numbers. Hayashi went for the change. Able to get the last man out on the field there. It was Chad Connolly, so Penn State going to slow it down, allow their top midfield unit to get onto the field.
And put them out in front of the game or bring them back from against Princeton. I mean, again, when they are rolling, they're one of the best.
Another draw won by Baldwin. Struggled with the ground ball initially. Picks it up finally, though. Colby Baldwin heating up at the stripe. Navy into the 10-man. Frassian going to send it far side to Ross. Ross may shoot. You operate here on the man up. That's why you see 3 out in the middle of the field for Penn State. Only 2 for the midshipmen. Face-off battle between Baldwin and Hayashi. They're going to call a hold on Baldwin. Unfortunate turn of events there for the Nittany Lions. Penn State likely to double this ball early here, try and force a turnover. However, Hayashi's smart play works it low to Haley. He'll look to kill the final 35 seconds of this Penn State man up.
Time State all ready for his great play. Ponzio, that's his 4th goal of the season. I mean, again, just a nasty move up top to free himself up.
Hayashi able to pick up the ground ball after the ball popped free on the face-off. Baldwin tried to dive for it, couldn't.
How unproven this Navy offense has been after losing so many seniors last year, but right now coming into a heavyweight class, going shot for shot with one of the best in the nation, and they're doing a heck of a job.
Absolutely. Hayashi hobbled off that face-off. We're going to keep an eye on that. Does not look good. Baldwin won the draw. Trainer hands off down low. King low to high. Rip that one. Goes wide. Zach Hayashi, well,
Came right at his face, and that time, my goodness, Wallstrom, just a heck of a day.
Daly expecting the low to low, something Wallstrom likes to go to, but Wallstrom wrapped from X and went low to high, buried it over top. Shadowens wins the face-off against Baldwin. That's a good sight for Navy. Shadowens struggled last week against Towson when he came in relief whenever Hayashi violated. Penn State riding hard. Here's Marsh near sideline. He'll clear it over the midline to Shadowens. Navy 60 on the clock. That's an effective 45 to go.
Problems. They went 9 of 11 in the first half. They had a few turnovers. And that was mostly calls by Penn State. 6 calls turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. And most of it was led by Alex Ross with 2. So for Navy, they've got to keep that offensive possessions in their favor and then do great stuff with it when they have it.
Baldwin off the face-off fired a bouncer so hard into the dirt with such a weird angle. It's to operate from down low. Loves to invert. He's a former attackman. Played a little bit at attack last year with some guys dealing with injury, one of those being Lehman. And in that time, he shined. Came on the scene last year in a large quantity for Jeff Tambroni and this team. Face-off won by Baldwin. He's tied up with Shadowens. They're going to call a hold on Colby Baldwin after O'Connor picked up the ground ball. Turnover, Nittany Lions.
His end, too. Man, this Penn State offense is just something.
For those just joining, top Fogo for Navy, Zach Hayashi went down with an injury late in the first half. It's been Colin Shadowens since then, but Colby Baldwin red hot for Penn State, really turning the tide for this Nittany Lions team.
It's huge for them to keep this as close as possible. A 4-goal game headed in the 4th would have been almost insurmountable to come over. And we've seen massive runs, but for Navy, that would have been really difficult. 3-goal game, 4th quarter, 15 minutes to go. This one's a ball game.
Daly making another save there as time expired.
This time, though, Dan Daly facing a ton of difficult shots on him, and he's just doing a fantastic job. And again, the mentality from the goalie is something else right now for Navy, trying to keep up with what this offense has done today.
Hold on Shadowens. Baldwin trying to split around his defender there. He's deterred off his path. Flag down on the play, a push on Navy. We're going to wait to see what the call actually is.
Kyle Lehman, yeah, walking over to the sideline right now. So it looks like Penn State's going to go man down. Unless that...
Not quite sure. Lehman
still waiting for the call. This game could have turned during the man-up opportunity for Navy from a 4-point game when Matthews' goal got wiped off to then a 2-point game if Navy were able to score. They can't. Minutes later, Matt Trainer does what he does.
Navy rolls out the new face-off guy. It's a push, though, on the mids. Penn State going to take Lehman's 6th of the season. Penn State's offense. It's been red hot, but it's run into another brick wall. Finally able to solve it once again. Baldwin thought he had the clamp. Shadowens, though, had better leverage, able to win that draw for the mids. Down 5.
His career right there, wide open, freebie for him to boost his Penn State squad up. And Hayden, we were really talking about it during the break. This is one of the best performances by the Penn State defense this season so far, and now the offense really trying to make a showcase for that, pulling 8 penalties from Navy, and again, scoring on 5 of them. It's been quite the day.